All right.
Back up so you guys can see. I'm Rachel, if I haven't met you yet. We're going to do a quick lift workout. So if you haven't warmed up yet, hit pause, do a quick warm up on your own because I'm going to explain what we're doing and we're going to jump right into it. But all you'll need is something like a mat or use the carpet, something soft for some floor work. Then you'll also need a set of light weights or medium weights if you have some dumbbells at home, or grab a couple of canvas, just something where you can have a little bit of weight. If you don't have something like that, it's okay to do these mostly with body weight. But if you need a second, pause, get a quick warm up in, grab your equipment. It's very minimal for today. But if you haven't done a lift, we're going to go through 3 sets. So we'll work lower body, upper body, and then core. I've got a finisher for you, but we're working for a minute. You'll get a 15-second pause in between where I'm going to explain your next move. So go ahead and warm up and then come back and join me. Otherwise, if you're ready to go, first move, body weight if you want. There is an option to hold a weight here at your chest, but mostly with lift, I like for you guys to focus on getting good form and being really intentional with your movement. So I'm going to kind of scoot my stuff out of the way here. But your first move, you're going to stay on the same side. We have 3 moves in each set, and then we'll repeat before we move on to a new muscle group. So with that said, we're going to do lower body first. Your first move, you're coming to a side lunge. So step it wide, keep that knee behind your toe, control that leg up, knee drive. Okay, so the same leg is going to step out, really lengthen through, knee drive. If you need to take a pause in the middle, catch your balance, I want you to do that, but don't shift your weight all the way over. Okay, so one leg is going to step out, knee drive, we're going for a minute, and then we'll keep going through our workout for today. So, 1 minute here. So standing nice and tall, I have some music on kind of quietly. So if that's coming through for YouTube purposes, I do not own the rights to this music. Otherwise, get something. We don't have any cardio in lift. So if you need to add some cardio, I would say pick a different workout after this or maybe start with one. Again, you're reaching out with one leg. If you need to, catch your balance here real quick on that toe. Otherwise, same leg is stepping out, side lunge, abs are in tight, knee drive. With lift, I like that we can focus on moving our bodies. You're still going to get some good workouts in, some good moves, but you don't have to do a lot of jumping, being all over the place. You can be really intentional, really put your mind to what you're doing. So same leg, step out wide to that side lunge. I move my arms with it, you don't have to. It helps me a little. Good, keep moving there. 15 seconds in between. Again, a weight is going to be optional if you want to hold that at your chest. I would say move with the same leg. Okay, feet are slightly wider than your hips. You're going to sink it down to a squat, leg lift. Here's the thing though. You're going to squat down. Let's go. 1 minute. When you bring that leg out to your lift, okay, make sure you're not throwing your weight around. You're not trying to karate kick or anything up to the ceiling. Feet under your hips. You have a nice stance here. Sink it low in that squat. Weight in your heels. Up and squeeze, lift. You should be working the outside of that hip, working through that glute. Abs are in nice and tight, chest tall. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, exhale, lift and squeeze. Again, you can hold that weight. I like to keep just prayer hands here. You can have hands at your hips. It might get in the way on that leg lift. But it should be the same leg. Make sure you're staying on the same side because we'll repeat this set. We got one more move. And we're going to take it to that opposite leg. Squat low, chest tall. Good. All right, some more lunging for you. So same leg. I'm trying to get out of the way of my weight. Same leg is going to do a lot of the movement for you. You're going to curtsy lunge. Hips stay squared towards me. Face the camera. Face whatever is in front of you. Curtsy to reverse. Now, curtsy, come up tall. Again, you're not shifting your weight all the way over. I want one leg to be taking the brunt of your weight here to a reverse lunge. If you want to stay low, if you want to get a little bit more of a burn here, okay, that leg is just going to move from that curtsy to that reverse. All right, here's what it looks like from the side. Curtsy, come up tall if you want. Reverse, making sure to keep that knee over your ankle. I actually need to step back a little further myself. Or stay low here, okay? Woo, you're gonna feel it in that hip. Make sure that you're not leaning forward. Okay, in your lunge, you're still sitting up tall. Curtsy, reverse. So step it wide. Try to cover a lot of ground, but not if that means in your curtsy that you're getting that rotation. Okay, shorten that lunge. Keep those hips squared. I know hip flexibility is going to be a little different for everybody. Take it out really quick. We're going to take it from the top with that side lunge to knee drive. So for me, I'm stepping out this leg. Whew, 15 seconds in between. I'm already winded. Good. So for me, my right leg is doing the work this time. Side lunge to a knee drive. Okay, abs nice and tight. Sink it low. Toe tap here if you need to. Knee drive. You should be using those lower abdominals to get that knee up. I don't want to see this. I want up hip level. Okay. Sink low. Bring it in. Knee drive. You should be feeling the inner thigh of that straightened leg working for you in that side lunge, but you're working this glute sinking down into that invisible chair just with that one side. Whew, knee drive. Again, I'm not using a weight on these. If you want to hold a weight here, that's kind of an advanced, a little bit more of a challenge. Okay, so if that's not for you, don't worry about it. Don't hold that weight. You don't need it. Go through that movement. Side lunge, knee drive. Good. Shake it out a little. Taking it back to that squat with a lateral leg lift. Okay, out to the side. So feet under your hips, maybe slightly wider than your hips. If you're pregnant, make some more room there. Okay, take your feet a little bit wider, but you're going to sink it down. Let's go. Weight in your heels, tailbone heavy. Squat, leg lift. Okay, you don't have to turn your leg. I don't want you to point toe to the ceiling or anything. Keep those feet pretty neutral. Okay, sink low, squeeze, controlled leg lift. You'll feel it fire up those hips, fire up those glutes. Again, that weight is optional. Okay, if you just want to get a feel for the movements, maybe you've been sitting down a lot, whether it be you're just at home having to hang out or you're working at home, had to set up a home office, whatever it is, your hips might be feeling this a little bit more. Get a little bit more movement in throughout your day. This overall is going to be a pretty short workout. Whew. Abs drawn in tight, come up tall, leg lift. Good, keep moving. Shake it out a little. Last one here, you've got that curtsy to reverse lunge. So for me, my right leg is doing the movement. Okay, so make sure hips stay squared. What that means is when you curtsy, this is no longer squared towards you. I'm opening up, getting too much rotation. So I would shorten my curtsy, sink low, come up, toe tap if you need to, reverse. Make sure that knee is staying over your ankle. Okay, if you want to stay low, if you want to make a little bit of a challenge here and bounce from that lunge to your reverse lunge, curtsy to reverse, you can. It's going to burn out that quad, or do a little bit of both. Whew. Good. Make sure you stand tall. Since you're lunging back, your chest is going to want to come down a little bit. That's okay, but I don't want you to stay here. Okay, I don't want you to keep this rocking motion through your shoulders. Chest tall, curtsy to reverse. Again, adding a weight is going to add a little bit more work for you coming up out of these lunges. Take it out if it's too much. Add it in if you need a little more. Whew. 5 seconds here. Keep working, keep moving. Good, shake it out. Moving on to arms. Whew. You'll need that light, possibly medium weight. I have a 5-pound weight since I'm up here at the gym. I'm gonna turn this way, and actually I'm gonna pause this really quick. So you get 59 seconds on that one. But remember, we're going through upper body, 3 moves, 2 times. So I'm gonna turn this way to show you that feet should be under your hips. Make sure that you're not standing with the arch in your back, okay? That you're not overcompensating and really tucking your tail and squeezing your glutes, okay? I want you to try to get neutral spine here. So that might mean a little bit of a tilt here. Get that pelvis underneath you. I do want you to get a little bit of a bend in those knees. Abs drawn in tight. So when you bend in those knees, if it makes you stick your butt out, tuck that tail just a little. Okay, we're going to a full overhead raise, down, 2, 3, 4. So all the way up, slow, lower. 1 minute here. Deep breaths. I may stay kind of at this angle here, but feet should be under your hips. You're not hinging all the way here, just a little bend, but I don't want you standing all the way straight either. So this bend is here just to help you engage and embrace your core. Full overhead raise. Pick a spot on the floor, kind of 45-ish degrees in front of you. Overhead, lower, nice and slow. Okay, take your time. Quick up, slow lower. I'm not watching the time, but I want you to think in your mind, up 1, down 2, 3, at least 4, maybe even 5, depending on your pace. Up 1. Nice and slow. You'll feel this working in your core as well. That's okay. That was kind of my point. It is part of your upper body too, but mostly working the shoulders and that full raise. Good. Shake it out. You'll need 2 weights or 2 candidates for your next one. You can find a squat with that same stance we just did, or find a lunge. Okay, whichever one feels a little bit better for you. For me, it's a lunge. But you're going to hinge at those hips. Flat back. We're doing 2 moves here. Reverse fly, bring them in, row, bring them in, okay? So soft bend in those elbows, really squeeze those shoulder blades behind you. Your weights shouldn't hang directly underneath you. They should be out in front of you just a little. You're hitting 2 moves though. So reverse fly, control it in, bend over row. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together on both of these movements. Take your time. If you want to, bring it to that squat. You have that nice flat back. There's something like a rod coming out of the top of your head, all the way down your back, and out your backside to keep your back nice and flat. But you shouldn't be thrusting your chest into this, okay? You should still be standing pretty solid. Reverse fly, row, bring it down. Good, y'all. And breathe. You'll get to do that one again. Shake it out a little. Oh, this one will be a little bit of a more of a mind exercise. Find your feet under your hips. I'll back up. One arm is going to hammer curl, okay, while the other is going to shoulder press. So if you can, you're getting a little bit of both, okay? If you need to take a second, work on one at a time, get a shoulder press going, okay? Once that arm is there, add in your hammer curl. I don't care if they're both moving in together or whatever, but your hammer curl, okay, you have a neutral grip. This is your neutral. We're not bicep curling, but one arm is going to hammer while the other shoulder presses, okay? Again, I don't care what the order is. You do have to think about it a little bit more. Make sure your core is nice and tight. You're not standing all loosey-goosey, but engage your core, press and curl going together. And remember, we're repeating these sets, so you'll have to switch arms next time. I'm sure they'll remind you. You'll feel it. Inhale here, exhale, curl and press. Deep breaths. Good, shake it out. You're back to that full overhead raise with a slow lower. So remember, feet under your hips. Little bend in those knees. I keep getting too close to you guys. But little bend in those knees. You're not curving or tucking, but we're taking it gentle bend, full overhead raise for 1. Nice and slow for at least a 4 count, maybe even 5. Okay, up 1, down, nice and slow. For me, it's turned into a 5 count, which is actually good. If your weight's a little bit heavier, if you have something like an 8 or a 10 that you've been doing this with, I know for some of y'all 8 and 10 is a medium weight. Maybe your count's not as high as mine, and that's okay. I just want you to focus on taking it up quick, down slow. Take your time on that lower. You'll probably feel this a little bit in your back as well. That's okay. I'm trying to not look at our timer. I can kind of see it. Up 1, down, nice and slow. For me, it's turned into that 5 count. Last time we do these upper body moves, super quick workout. You're basically halfway through. Good. Shake out those shoulders a little. We're back to that reverse fly to the bent over row. So my only stipulation here, you can be back in that narrow squat. If you did a lunge last time, I just want you to switch legs. So just because you're getting a little bit of that lower body. So remember, we're not rounding through our back and we're not throwing our chest into it. Core nice and tight, little hinge in those hips, soft elbows. So not here, we're not gonna extend, soft elbows, slight bend there, squeeze, reverse fly, squeeze for that row, okay? You don't have to turn those weights or anything, they're gonna stay in that neutral grip. My legs are killing me from yesterday, so I'm gonna change back to my squat. And remember, weights don't hang down in front of you. You need to kick them out, at least a 45-degree angle. Reverse fly, control it in. You should be feeling that right here, all right here between the shoulder blades and on your back. You got 12 seconds. Less than 10 now, come on. Reverse fly, take your time. Everyone's still gonna work for a minute. I don't care how slow or fast you go, but you're gonna hit both moves. All right, back to that tricky one. Shoulder press and hammer curl. Make sure you swapped arms. Hammer curl, that weight's in a neutral grip. You got 1 minute here. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, come into kneeling position. That'll make your core work a little bit harder, okay? But you shouldn't be swaying or swinging into it, body rolling, any of that. Okay, you're just adding a kneeling position if you want. If that's not for you, I just want you to stay standing, hips under your feet, core is still engaged, nice and tight, hammer curl and shoulder press, getting a little bit of both. Last time for your upper body set, and we'll move into core. Make sure you breathe, inhale here, exhale, press and curl. Good job, really squeeze. If you don't have weights, I still want you to pretend like you're lifting something away from you with that shoulder press. That you're squeezing something in close to that shoulder with that curl, okay? Create your own resistance a little bit. Or if you're using canned goods, I know those aren't always super heavy. So change it up. Put your mind on those muscles. Good. Shake it out. All right, we're taking it to the floor with our core set. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my mat. Your first move is an elbow plank sweep. So you start here, low in that elbow plank. Okay, you can also be on your knees. You're coming center. You're coming up to the side, opening up like a book. Back to center. Hold here before you switch out to that other side, okay? Because here's the thing, when you open up, your hips are gonna turn with you. So if you come back and you try to switch to that other side, you're gonna be rocking around too fast. So take your time, okay? If you're on your knees, it's just a little bit smaller range of motion here, and you might have to kind of swivel your legs a little bit more. You can even add that reach at the top if you want, okay? Find your elbow plank, booty's not up in the air or hanging out low to the floor. Pause in the middle. Actually, I'm gonna add that reach. It feels weird to leave a fist there. But elbows on the floor, sweep, reach it up. Okay, if you're on your toes, make sure you're still getting that pivot through your feet. Reach it up, you're not coming all the way behind you. Control those arms. I know your shoulders are burning from that upper body set. We'll get to that one more time, don't worry. All right, next one. You're coming into a bear. So from all fours, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees, I want you to try to float. Okay, belly's nice and tight. You shouldn't be here or here, flat back. You're coming shoulder tap, front reach. Other arm, shoulder tap, front reach. I'll turn this way too. No, I won't. But if this is not working for you, you have some options. Okay, if you can do this bear plank and you just want to hold here for a minute, you're not quite ready to add in some movement because it makes you either kick a hip out or start to turn, then hold that there, okay? Or just give me shoulder taps, but take them slow. If the hover is not for you, okay, I want you just to keep knees on the floor. You can still shoulder tap, forward reach, work on keeping your core engaged, nice and tight like you're wearing a corset. Shoulder tap, forward reach. Because the main things here are staying nice and steady. Bear is a really big core stability challenge. So if you don't need to hover, take it out, add in that shoulder tap and reach. All right, from your all fours, you have some options here too. You're working with opposite arm and leg. Hand is gonna come to your ear. You're gonna crunch it in, bring it out and reach. Okay, if that's not for you, a little bird dog crunch. Okay, if you shouldn't twist, if you're not quite ready, that's a lot of balance challenge for you. I just want you to reach and bring it back in. Okay, I like bird dogs. They don't really challenge you a whole lot. It's an easy move that everybody can do and everybody benefits from it. So, and I don't mean that just people-wise. I mean physically. Every person can benefit from doing a bird dog. If you want to just stay here, you can. Make sure you're not kicking up to the ceiling. Okay, we're not adding anything fancy. But if you want to, you can crunch, reach out here. A little bit more of a balance challenge though. Woo, shoulders burning. You should be still moving the same arm and leg though, okay? When you crunch, you do get a little bit of a rounding through your back. That's okay. Take it back to your reach, really lengthen through, crunch it in. You'll feel it working. Woo. Good, shake out those shoulders real quick. You're coming back to those elbow plank sweeps. So if the movement is not working for you, okay, feel free to hang out here in this elbow plank. But there's no need to do any of this. You don't need to look at your toes. Your body should be in that straight line. You can add in your sweep from here. Make sure you hold solid before you switch sides. Okay, your feet are gonna kind of turn with you if you're on your toes. For me, that's still kind of a lot, being 8 months postpartum. So I'm gonna come to my knees. Still open up through your hips. Face that opposite wall. Reset here at the bottom. Open up and reach. Yes, I realize this is a lot of shoulders. I'm realizing it now. But you'll thank me for it later when those summer shoulders will be super ready. Maybe we'll be allowed to be together in public by then. Take your time, moving through. This is your last set. We do have a finisher. You got less than 10. If anything, hold that elbow plank. Okay, just make sure you're not dropping through your chest. Strong arms here. You got this. Good. Bring it up. You're coming back to that bear. Remember, if you can, one arm at a time is going to shoulder tap, forward reach. Then you'll switch. So if floating in that bear is not working for you, keep those knees flat on the ground. Otherwise, hover. You're not here. Knees should be really low. Shoulder tap, forward reach. Now, I don't want you to rush through the moves either. I'm pausing in between because what I don't want you to do is shoulder tap, reach. You're not really getting a reach. I really want you to extend, just like we did in that bird dog. Shoulder tap, forward reach. Whew. And if you need to, we're halfway through. Come to those knees, take out that hover. Or remember, if none of that is working, you can just work on holding a good solid bear. Hover over that mat. Hover over the floor. You got 15 seconds. Core nice and tight. Keep breathing. You got one more move and a finisher. Push through. 5 seconds. Good. And bring it down. Woo. Y'all, shoulders. Other side. Okay, so make sure you're set up on all fours for that bird dog. Remember? Your options here. You can either take it just to that extend and bring it in, okay? If you want to add that challenge of crunching in underneath you at your belly button and then reach, you can do that as well. I feel like I should turn this way because I can't see. But find all fours, reach, really extend that arm and leg. We're not kicking up. You're just reaching for the wall in front of you and the wall behind you. Crunch it to center. Reach here. That's not for you. You can always reach and replace those hands and feet where they were. Woo. Core stability is a huge factor here. Take your time with it. Be gentle with yourself if you're getting frustrated, if your balance isn't quite there. My balance is not quite there on this side for whatever reason. So slow down. Last minute of work here, and then I'll hit pause just to explain to you what your finisher is. Good. Woo. Shake those shoulders out. All right. You may want to get something to write on for this. I didn't set up over by the whiteboard, but your finisher. You can go ahead and come up too. Go ahead and come up. I'm going to scoot this over. You have 3 moves that you're going to roll through for a 3-minute EMOM finisher. So if you've never done EMOM, it's every minute on the minute. Whew, I'm so winded. For 3 minutes, we're going to do these exercises. If you finish the moves before the minute is up, you have rest time. So say you get through the squat, sit-ups, and push-ups. I'll tell you the number in a second. If you get through all of it, there's 26 seconds left on the timer. For that minute, okay, you get to take a rest for 26 seconds. If you didn't finish, for whatever reason, just keep rolling through, okay? Take your time. I just estimated numbers. I don't even know if I'll get through it. We'll see. But it's 3 minutes of continuous work. But you get a rest if you finish. So here's where you may want to write it down. 12 squats, 3 sit-ups, and 6 push-ups, okay? Here's the thing. In your push-up, if it's not good for you to do a push-up on the floor, find a chair, find something steady though that's not going to slide underneath you. Use the wall. Give me your push-ups there because I know sometimes your wrists bother you. And make sure, I can't watch you on this one, but make sure that your push-up is a moving plank. Your body's moving in one solid line. Okay, if sit-ups are not for you, if you're pregnant, if your core is still healing post-pregnancy, if you had abdominal surgery, whatever it may be, instead of a sit-up, okay, you're going to give me an ab lean. So what that looks like, you're going to sit back, roll up your mat or something underneath you, a blanket. You're just going to ab lean, keep your back nice and flat, and come up here. Okay, that's your modification for your sit-up. And then again, if a push-up, if that's too much for you from the floor, find an incline, use the wall. But it's 12 squats, 3 sit-ups, 6 push-ups. Okay, we're going for 3 minutes. I'll do it with you. Let me find my timer. I think it's timer 2. All right, let's go. 12 squats. You've already done some, so you kind of know the form. You're doing 12. Keep solid form though. Do not rush through. I think I'm on 9, 10, 11. So then you'll take it down. We may not match here, and that's okay. 3 sit-ups, all the way down, all the way up. Keep space under your chin. Okay. Flip it over. Remember your ab lean for your modification. For your push-up, you can be on your toes or your knees for 6 push-ups. Woo. 13 seconds left for me. That means I get to rest for 13. We're going when that hits 2. If you're still working, keep working though. Set your own pace. Minute 2, let's go. 12 squats. Weight in your heels, chest up. I keep losing count because I'm talking. I think that's 9. Open up those hips. There's 12 for me. Here's your ab lean if you need it. I'll show you one more time. 3 ab leans or sit-ups. Chest up, space under your chin. 6 push-ups. I'll try for my toes this time. Whew. 15 seconds of rest for me. If you're still working, try to finish it out. Finish it out. You got 1 more minute of work. 5 seconds and we're starting back over. Come on. 2, 1. Let's go. 12 squats. Last time. Breathe. All the way down, all the way up. Almost through. Sit-ups for 3 or ab leans. Let's go. Eyes up, chin up. It's only 3, not terrible. 6 push-ups and you're done. I know your arms are shaking, mine are too. You got 13 seconds. I'm gonna let it play out. Let's go. Finish it. If you're done, grab some water. We'll do a few little stretches. 3 seconds. Finish it out. Good job. All right. Whew. I know that was a lot. You did it. Quick workout. If you did have to work, you would be done with this on your lunch break. So let's go ahead and start with those arms. You did a lot of arm work, especially in the back portion of that workout. Take it to some huggers. Open up those chests and shoulders. I don't know what I'm saying now. Open it up. Good. Bring one arm across. Make sure that shoulder is down. Some wrist circles and a neck stretch if you want. Deep breaths. Same arm. Bring that elbow up and over. This is going to be a super quick stretch. So obviously, I don't know if you finish out the video or not. I do want you to stretch a little. You're going to get that speech a little bit because y'all know I like to stretch with our yoga and stuff. Bring that shoulder down, other arm across. But I'm making this super quick for time's sake. There should be some yoga videos saved here if you need a good full body stretch. But please make sure, even though we aren't able to be together and stay accountable in person, that you're still taking care of your body, still stretching, because even going hard in a workout for 30 minutes and not stretching is gonna inhibit your range of motion and your recovery. So even if it's getting out for a walk, running around with the kids, interlace those fingers behind your back, pull through. And I'm preaching to myself on this one too, because I need to make sure I'm moving more throughout my day. One more deep breath. Good. Exhale as you slowly release those arms. Take those feet wide. Deep breath in. Quick little leg stretch. Exhale, come down in that forward fold. Maybe take it to a little sway. Stretch through those hamstrings. Last thing here. Take right ankle over left. Stretching through that IT band, the outer hip, through the glute. If this is a lot for you to touch the floor, rest your hands kind of up here above your knees. You're not putting all of your weight on your leg though, okay? It's just a rest here. But if you can, you should be pretty warm. Try to fold in half here. Go ahead and take that left ankle over right. Exhale on your way down. Let the crown of your head hang heavy. We'll actually do one more thing when we come up to standing, and then I'll let you guys go. Good. Come up nice and slow. Grab something for balance if you need to. Take that right shoe. Quick quad stretch, so knees stay together. We're not letting it fly out to the side, and make sure you send that hip forward a little bit. I want you to open it up. We're not staying here in this flexion. I want you to extend, open up the front of that leg, stretch through your quad, gently release. Shake it out if you need to, other leg up. So I always kind of have to bring my leg out here. Make sure you bring knee back in, open through your hip. Squeezing that heel in towards your butt cheek, stretching through that quad. Good, shake it out, release. One more deep breath in, scoop up all that air. Little squat too if you want. Exhale out. Good job, everybody.